Okay, so as you can see, that little bee there is going around pollinating the herb I want to show you today. So this right here is St. John's wort. I'm going to get John over here. Just try to get the sun on her a little bit. I'll go over this one. We're just following the bee. Okay, so St. John's wort has a lot of great uses. She's pretty well known, and as you'll know, it's one of the herbs that doctors do tend to ask about. They do have some knowledge of this particular herb. It's kind of funny because most doctors won't ask about other herbs, but they usually ask about St. John's wort, and that's because St. John's wort has been known as a really good for repressing viral loads, including things related to the herpes family, such as cold sores, and mood lifting, so seasonal affective disorder. So therefore a lot of people tend to use her. However, there is some concern, I guess is the best way to put it, among doctors. I would say probably rightfully so, because St. John's wort is known to increase the liver function very well. Like, she does extremely well at it. However, when you increase that liver function, it purges, things out of your system, including medications. So if you're on medications of any kind, that increased liver function will kind of render them inert or less effective. And that's why doctors tend to ask about it so much. However, if you need to improve your liver function and you're not on anything else that's essential, she's really good for that. So, just in that realm, just have some concern when you're using her, or caution rather. This plant is very strongly associated with the sun, and that's why she tends to lift our moods. Very beautiful, happy yellow. And I'll show you real quick how to identify her. So you have these type of flowers here. There's usually 5 petals with a little spray in the middle. And then the best way to actually identify her is by taking one of the leaves. Sorry, I'm trying to find a big one where I can actually show you. Hold on one second. So, here's one of the leaves. And I don't know how well it'll come up on the video, but if you hold that up to the sunlight, you'll see almost like little holes all throughout the leaf. And that's one of the best ways to know that you're working with St. John's wort. Sorry, it's not wanting me to focus. Anyway, so St. John's wort does really well for lifting moods, increasing liver function. The one thing to know about her as well is you really want to use, if you're taking her internally, even if you're taking her externally, the biggest benefit of this plant comes from her fresh plant matter. So the other way you can identify her is if you take the petal or the bloom and you kind of squish her around. There's this purplish, it doesn't show up very well in the video, but you end up with kind of a purplish little smudge there. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but that compound is what gives her a lot of the benefits. And if you let this plant dry too much, you're going to lose that. So I actually have some oil that I'm infusing right now with St. John's wort for to make a balm. And the balm is particularly good for sciatica pain and kind of relieving that nerve inflammation externally, which I'm tending to deal with some of that right now. So she's also a really good wound healer and tends to heal wounds from the bottom up, so a little slower. Comfrey, on the other hand, tends to heal things from the top down, and that's why you have to be careful with comfrey, is because you want to make sure the wound is clean before you apply any of that, otherwise you risk infection. St. John's wort, on the other hand, heals from the bottom up and can heal those deep wounds in that way. I've also recommended her. Some people will take her for treating shingles, and that's kind of just one of those viral loads that she's really good at helping heal and relieve. I had a friend who was dealing with shingles, so I gave her a tincture, and she didn't get the big sores, which was good. Another good thing to know about St. John's wort is if you apply the balm externally, she does pretty good at working as a low-level SPF, kind of sunscreen. However, if you take her internally, it almost does a little bit of the opposite, where it very potentially increases some sun sensitivity. And I think that's usually if you're using the dried plant matter, like tincture made out of the dried plant, it's especially bad, but definitely show some caution even with the fresh. So as I said, right now I am making some St. John's wort balm. Hope to have that available soon. And she's technically invasive. She does take over large areas of wild space, even though she's not from North America. However, she is a great plant to know, and you can use her pretty much at will because she's really hardy, grows back everywhere. Not uncommon to go out into wild spaces and find her in big patches. So harvest away, use her as much as you need to, and thanks for stopping by to get to know St. John's wort today. If you are interested in the St. John's wort balm that I am going to be making, feel free to visit us over on Wild Blood Herbs at bigcartel.com, or you can find us at Wild Blood Herbs on Instagram. So, thanks for stopping by.